Hello everybody, welcome to Little Rusty Bucket. Subscribe to the channel and drop a like on this video. Trying to hit 50k subs, so that subscription would be much appreciated. Also, if you are on mobile, please go ahead and hit the hype button, as that is the best way to make the video do better in the YouTube algorithm. Wanted to talk about a conversation that I've been seeing had around the internet about whether or not the Milwaukee Bucks failed Giannis. And I can just go ahead, I'm going to spoil what my take is right out of the gate. I think that's ridiculous for a couple of different reasons. Primarily, and this should be fucking obvious, and I'm shocked that it's like being dismissed in the way that it is. You guys know they won a championship, right? You do recognize that happened? Like 9 times out of 10 throughout league history, when a franchise that overall has been a disaster ever since like Ray Allen left, a team that was a joke for a very, very, very long time, when that player draft or when that team drafts a generational talent, almost all of the time they fuck it up. Like the Cavs when they got LeBron, the Pelicans when they got Anthony Davis, or the Pelicans, or at the time Hornets when they got Chris Paul, the Kings with DeMarcus Cousins, Joel Embiid, and the Sixers haven't gotten it done. Like, a big thing for me when Denver won with Nikola Jokic is I was like, hell yeah, dude, they did it. They got one with him. They didn't waste it. Like, obviously, it would be great if there was more than one championship that came of it. But, like, so far, there has been four years where they could have done it, and they didn't. So, like, yeah, that's 4 years since winning the championship that maybe it could have been done. But, like, when you go and look at what happened with this Bucks team year after year after year, it was injuries that ultimately got in the way. And then also the Bucks front office doing what Giannis asked. I've also seen a good amount of people being like, we need to hold Giannis more accountable for pushing the Bucks towards the moves that they did that ultimately fucked them over. And I can agree to that. I do think there is a little bit too much treating Giannis like he's wholly innocent in this equation, and the Bucks just completely ruined everything, when it's like basically every major decision that was made by the Bucks front office, Giannis nudged them in that direction. Now, we obviously do not know the extent to which this happened, the extent to the level of influence that Giannis had on trading for Jrue Holiday, trading for Damian Lillard, buying out Damian Lillard and signing Miles Turner. Like, we obviously have some inclination, but we're also not in these offices while these discussions are being had. However, he does do the cryptic shit that he does. He does have a comment. Like, I know the summer that Damian Lillard got traded to the Bucks, like a month or two before that trade happened, Giannis made yet another statement to the media where he's like, if I don't think I can compete for a championship with the Milwaukee Bucks, then I will leave. And he has said that at particular strategic times to enact these trades. And what I will say is, I don't think this is necessarily a wrong thing for Giannis to do. I've actually kind of always backed up those decisions, because I am a firm believer that if you have someone like Giannis, you owe it to that player, especially if you're a small market team that gets superstars very infrequently. When you get that guy, you need to do everything in your power to win that guy a championship. And I think the Milwaukee Bucks did exactly that, because first of all, they did win a championship, but second of all, they remained aggressive and still made moves that at least at the time made sense. Like, my reaction when the Bucks traded for Damian Lillard was, holy shit, the Bucks are about to win another championship, because Dame should theoretically pair well with Giannis. What we learned is that like I've always said that Giannis kind of he's a mix between a big man and a wing, because he still scores a lot of the ways a big man scores, but he does like to dribble the ball a lot. He does like to lead the offense, and he's not really a big screen setter. And I knew that was the case before Damian Lillard got traded there. I just didn't realize the extent to which he was unwilling to come Damian Lillard's way, although I do think both of them could have done a better job. Like, people get caught up in like blame there. It's like, oh, it was Dame's fault because he was washed. It's Giannis's fault because he wouldn't let Dame dribble that much. Like, I think there's equal blame, and if anything, I think it's just like, yeah, fucking sucks that did not work out, but I really don't think it's because either Giannis nor Dame did something egregious. It just kind of didn't work out. But trading for Damian Lillard when they did made complete sense. They got rid of Jrue Holiday in the process, but Jrue Holiday was already seemingly starting to decline. And though he did play a big part in Boston winning the 2024 championship, he did so as a role player. He did so as like a corner catch and shoot guy a lot of the time, still dribbling the ball, still initiating some offense, still a very good playmaker, but like his ability as a shot creator was dwindling. And of course, there was also Chris Middleton, who his damn legs were actively deteriorating, and he has not been the same. And he was the second best player on that championship run. Brook Lopez was also getting older. And like, one of the concerns with that team when they were assembled is like, these guys are a lot older than Giannis. Like, I'm actually going to go ahead and pull up that roster to see what age they were in 2021. Yeah, the 2021 Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis was 26, Chris Middleton was 29, Brook Lopez was 32, and Jrue Holiday was 30. Unfortunately, Chris dealt with so many injuries that he aged out earlier than he otherwise would have. But like Brook Lopez, he's like 37 now. He just got too old. Jrue Holiday, his shot creating ability was in decline. And oftentimes he had to take more shots after the championship run in the absence of Chris Middleton. Like, if I remember correctly, yeah, they lost 3-4 in the 2022 conference semifinals against Boston. They got fucking blown out in Game 7. But Giannis played the whole series. Jrue Holiday played the whole series. Brook Lopez played the whole series. No Chris Middleton. And Jrue Holiday averaged 21 points, 6 assists, but he shot 36% from the field and 30% from three. So it was like, yeah, he really can't like step up and be that scorer in the same way as he may have been able to earlier on in his career. So it made sense to move on from him for Damian Lillard, who was coming off of an incredible season. Obviously, he's also an older guy, but not quite as old. I mean, it's not off by that much, to be fair. But you know, the season that he had for Portland when they traded for him, he averaged 32 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. He took the most threes in the league while shooting 37%. Like, criticizing the Dame trade is entirely hindsight. Like, if you saw what everyone was thinking in the moment that happened, it was like, oh, so this is just like a modern incarnation. Is that a word? Whatever. A modern version of Kobe and Shaq. Like, yeah, superstar level guard, superstar level big man. But I think the thinking there at the time was overselling how much Dame likes to play off ball and how effective he is at it, and overselling how much Giannis is willing to do traditional big man type shit like screen setting, rolling to the rim, etc. So I just don't think you can blame the Bucks front office for this. You can choose to blame Giannis for it, but what I would say is, like, sometimes things just don't work out. And in this instance, I don't think it's really anybody's fault that much. It just didn't fucking work out. And sometimes that's the way it is. We don't always have to point fingers. We don't always have to say it was this person that fucked everything up. And again, they didn't fuck everything up. They got a championship out of having him, which maybe another franchise could have gotten 2 or 3 by this stage. This is the Milwaukee Bucks. Do you know how shit this franchise has been historically? Like, they had the 70s with Kareem and Oscar. Then there was Sidney Moncrief and some other guys in the 80s where they became a decent team. And then they didn't do basically anything in the 90s, unless I'm blanking on something important, but I don't think so. And then they got Ray Allen, and they were pretty good for a year or two with Ray Allen. They got to the conference finals in 2001. But after Ray Allen left, that team was a disaster for so long. They drafted Giannis, and he became like an all-star MVP level guy by 2018. And then 1, 2, 3 seasons after that, they won the championship with him at the age of 26. That's one of the youngest, like being the lead guy on a championship team is usually older than 26. And they did it with him pretty early on. Absolutely. The years that have followed have been disappointing, but I think we are just way too inclined to just hunt for somebody to blame it all on. I would say the worst move the Milwaukee Bucks made in the Giannis era was hiring Doc Rivers. Not that I'm not even a big Adrian Griffin defender. I understand to some extent why he was let go, probably a little premature. If the option was keep Adrian Griffin or fire him and bring on Doc Rivers, who Doc Rivers manages to do this thing where he will be good enough as a coach for a while, but he will always find a way to fuck things up. At the end of the day, that will always happen. It makes sense that he coached the Clippers for as long as he did, because like, I don't know if there is an NBA coach who embodies the energy of the Clippers more than Doc Rivers. They're like, man, this guy seems really competent. Oh, wait, he fucking ruined it at the end. That's the Clippers. That's Doc Rivers. Like, that's the only thing that I would say, like, yeah, horrible move. His reputation was in the mud when they did that. Like, every single reason you could think of. Like, when they hired the Bucks, I did a video titled, "Why Do People Keep Hiring Doc Rivers?" And it got like 100,000 views in like a week, because everyone's reaction was like, seriously, Doc fucking Rivers in like what, 2020 fucking 2024? When did he become the goddamn head coach of that team? Yeah, 2023-24 season. Why? They went 17-19 with him. They went 30-13 with Adrian Griffin. I actually thought Adrian coached less games than that, so my memory is off. Yeah, the Bucks didn't fail Giannis. This is just how it goes sometimes. It's not that easy to win a championship in the modern NBA, unfortunately. But yeah, that's it. Goodbye.